Deep beneath the ocean waves, the morning sun filters through the blue water, illuminating the colorful coral reefs of Bikini Bottom in a golden glow. Today isn't just any ordinary morning. It's a day for education rules, and perhaps a few unintentional explosions at Mrs. Puff's famous boating school. And here he comes. SpongeBob SquarePants is practically vibrating with excitement as he skips down the path toward the school gates with a huge smile. In his hands, he clutches a brand new, shiny boat-sharing manual. He's determined to be the best student Bikini Bottom has ever seen. Today, inside the classroom, the atmosphere is focused. Mrs. Puff stands at the front, her fins poised to deliver the day's most important lesson. She clears her throat and writes in bold letters, "The art of sharing the lane," a concept often forgotten in the heat of a driving test. SpongeBob is mesmerized. He leans forward, his eyes wide and unblinking, soaking up every single syllable Mrs. Puff utters like a literal sponge. He's taking notes so fast that his pencil is practically smoking. Every detail about road courtesy is being etched into his absorbent brain. Right next to him sits his best friend, Patrick Star. Patrick seems less interested in the lecture and more interested in SpongeBob's impressive writing utensil. Patrick reaches out, hoping to borrow a bit of that pencil power. Sharing is caring. "Right, buddy?" he whispers, tugging at the end of it. A comedic tug-of-war ensues. Neither wants to let go, and the pencil stretches like rubber between the two best friends in the middle of class. Mrs. Puff pauses, staring at the duo over her glasses. SpongeBob quickly realizes that sharing also means knowing when to give in gracefully. Now comes the ultimate challenge. The classroom theory is over, and it's time to take these sharing skills out onto the open track. SpongeBob climbs into the boat mobile. He adjusts his hat and grips the wheel. His hands are shaking just a little bit with nervous energy. Mrs. Puff sits in the passenger seat with her clipboard ready. "Remember, SpongeBob," she says, "concentration is key, but so is kindness on the road," as they pull onto the course. SpongeBob sees another student boat approaching a narrow intersection. His heart begins to race as the gap closes. Usually, this is where the panic sets in. A bead of sweat rolls down his yellow face, and he wonders if he should speed up to stay ahead. But then he remembers the lesson. He remembers the tug-of-war with Patrick and the words written on the chalkboard. Sharing a lane is the goal. Instead of slamming on the gas, SpongeBob gently taps the brakes. He makes eye contact with the other driver and gives a polite, friendly nod. He extends his arm and gestures for the other student to merge first. It's a moment of pure, unadulterated road etiquette that stuns everyone. The other driver waves back in gratitude and smoothly enters the lane. The flow of traffic continues perfectly, without a single bump or bubble. Mrs. Puff looks down at her clipboard, then at SpongeBob for once. She isn't terrified for her life. She's actually pleasantly surprised. The rest of the test goes flawlessly. SpongeBob navigates every turn and stop sign with the grace of a sponge who truly understands his place as they pull back into the school parking lot. The tension has completely vanished. SpongeBob has learned that sharing makes everything move smoother. Mrs. Puff reaches into her pocket and pulls out something special. "SpongeBob," she says, "today you didn't just drive, you showed true character." She places a sharing star sticker right on his forehead. SpongeBob looks like he's just won the lottery, his eyes welling up with joy. He leaps out of the boat, dancing a little jig of victory. He knows that sharing isn't just about lanes. It's about friendship and respect as the afternoon turns to evening. The sky over Bikini Bottom transforms into a beautiful palette of purple, orange, and deep blue. SpongeBob finds Patrick waiting for him outside. He doesn't hold a grudge about the pencil. In fact, he's ready to share something even better. The two friends sit together. Sipping on a giant kelp shake, they watch the sunset, perfectly content in each other's company and the lesson learned. Sharing a lane is important, but sharing a moment with a friend is what really makes life in Bikini Bottom so special. So remember, kids, whether it's a pencil, a boat lane, or a milkshake, everything is better when you do it together. Mrs. Puff walks by in the background, heading home with a smile. It was a good day at boating school, and for once, nobody crashed. The bubbles float upward as night begins to fall. Bikini Bottom settles into a quiet, rhythmic hum filled with the spirit of generosity. And as for SpongeBob, he's already dreaming of tomorrow's lesson, ready to learn, ready to grow, and always ready to share. Good night, Bikini Bottom. May your lanes always be clear and your hearts always be open to a little bit of sharing.